With Jaguars veteran safety, Andrew Dewey Wingard. Hello, sir. How are you? How was your off season?
It was fantastic. It was long. Happy to be back. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm great. How much golf did you play?
A lot.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to be played here in the next month or two before, we pack it all up and have to go play the sport we really play. So,
what's the goal? Short game improvements? Is it the driver? What are you most proud of your game during the off season?
The short game has definitely gotten better. Shout out to me and my dad. We go out, we grind together on the short game because, that's where it's at. But the long game is coming along.
Okay.
I'm down to about a 9 handicap, so.
All right.
And if I'm at a 9 in Florida, I can go a whole hell of a lot lower in Denver when I can spray it across to other fairways and stuff. And
You're
it's
out
not
here hustling them for money when you go back.
Yeah, so.
I love it. Awesome. Well, I was working on my new grip last night, so I'll have to show it to you after
Strengthening it, weakening it?
Changing my hand position.
Okay.
I've been doing the baseball grip for
gotcha.
the better part of the last 6 years, so changing that. But we'll talk about that off air. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about this defense. Ponytail?
Yeah.
What inspired that?
I was wearing the hat outside, and I got a mean tan line. So it's not. I'm not trying to be like some samurai warrior or something, but it works. Yeah. But the tan on the forehead is definitely the reason for the ponytail.
Had you ever done a ponytail before?
I have. I just haven't really made it my look, but I kind of made it my look this spring. So.
Awesome. I promise we're going to talk football.
For sure.
Last time I talked to you, I believe, was in the locker room in Nashville. Mm-hmm. Where this team was at that moment to now. Obviously, a new coaching staff is certainly part of it, but where would you evaluate headspace where this defense in particular is today as we stand here?
Definitely in a better headspace. You obviously have to accept your failures in this league and just as a person in general, and we failed, but we're here now. So not looking at the past, but love this new crew. Coach Nielsen, my coach specifically, Coach Richard. It's really damn good coaches and so detailed, so almost militaristic, if you will. A line, a sign, be where you're at, and they're going to call you out if you do things wrong, and they're going to praise you when you do things right. So we got a really good mesh between players and coaches right now.
And you guys had the opportunity, I know in your exit meetings, to really talk to Doug about where you guys wanted to improve. Were those things that you identified as we need to get better in these areas?
Well, I can't say specifically. I didn't have those conversations. I'm sure, probably talked to Foye, Josh, all those guys, but I'm sure they probably echoed the same things is, if you want to be great, you got to do things on the practice field great. You got to do things in the playbook great. And so far, they're doing it great. And it's, exactly where you have to be, exactly where you have to align, where to key. That's how you play defense. So that's where we're at.
I'm glad you brought up Chris because I feel like we've talked about Ryan so much and we forget that he's kind of the yin to the yang.
100%.
Walk me through how those two work together and how it works for you guys.
Yeah, Nielsen's he's the general. He's the guy. He's the guy who moves all the chess pieces. But he really relies on Coach Richard for the details of basically every position in the secondary and the backers on coverage fits and stuff like that. Because Coach Richard, he was in Seattle with the Legion of Boom, stuff like that. And I got to say, honestly, he's one of the best football coaches I've ever been around, truly. And he's going to have us dialed in on the details. And, once we get into the season, we're obviously perfecting what we do right now. But I know when we get into the season, he's going to have us dialed in on what other teams are trying to do to us within what we're playing. So it's been really good this season with him, just knowing our stuff and getting the baseline down.
On the special teams side of things, Heath gave you a couple of shout-outs this morning.
Did he really?
Yes, he did, because he said that with the new kickoff rules, no one is more excited to get out there and tackle somebody as you are.
100%.
Why?
Well, first off, it's not just jogging down. Like last year, I got to tell you, it was boring on special teams. It was boring. It's just touchbacks. Now, forget the touchdown against the Texans. We don't remember that. But now that we get a chance to go out every Sunday and know we're having reps on kickoff to make tackles and stuff, it's going to be exciting. And, I want to be all-pro in something. I could be an all-pro making all those tackles, so we'll see what happens.
Especially because I know you tag along with Ross a lot of the time, and Ross tags along with you, and you guys work together. He's an all-pro.
We basically are Batman and Robin,
I love it.
And I'm definitely Batman.
Good to know.
He's Robin.
And look, you're both going to be an all-pro. With these new kickoff rules, Dewey, what's the most difficult part? I know everyone wants to talk about it, and it's so different, but what has been the most difficult part of changing your mindset for it?
I wouldn't say I think the difficult part is just going to be it's more just straight up mano-a-mano because you're not running, 20, 30 yards down the field where you can kind of just juke guys out and run. You really got to be physical, and you really got to be really gap sound, which sounds crazy on kickoff, but you actually have to have gaps because we're all on the same level. And if you miss a gap, Devin Duvernay is going to put one foot in the ground and get upfield. So we got to be dialed in. It's going to be fun.
Last one from me. The young guys in the secondary. Obviously they drafted 2 more corners.
Yep.
What have you seen from some of those younger guys so far?
Yeah, I've seen a lot. They're all smart. They all know what they're doing. Really like Jarian. I love him. He's if I was a defensive coach, I would love having him on my team for sure because he's one of those guys that, he's loose. He's gonna still be that, schoolyard cat, but he's also smart. You can see he's really smart, and I think he's going to be a really good player.
Overall, for you guys, let's go back to what I said. From where we were in Nashville having that conversation to where this team is now, I know Doug said when asked about what he wants the identity to be, he said physical, smart football.
Yep.
What would you say the identity of this team needs to be in 2024?
Trying to think of a catchphrase that I can trademark.
You already got one, so I mean.
Just freaking send it this year. I think that's where we're at because we're all going to look back on last year and kind of be like, all right, imposter syndrome's a thing. And there might have been a little bit of imposter syndrome last year where guys are like, dang, did we take that jump already? Are we ready for this? So I really can sense it this year. Guys are really just locking in. It's no more surfing social media, watching TV, hearing all the noise, building false stuff in their minds. We're just out here on the grass, in between the lines, playing football. And that's what it's going to have to be. You got to go out on Sunday and just play football. Obviously, it's the NFL. You get what you signed up for. There's going to be a lot of noise. That's the fun of it. That's why we love it so much. That's why you want to play on the big stage. But it's almost like you have to reverse your mind to be so much more wake up, eat breakfast, go to your job, go home, go to sleep, be a human being, you know what I mean? So it's deep. I could explain it to you all day, but that's kind of the gist. Don't give a F and send it.
Send it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yep.
Send it. Thank you, Dewey.
Thank you.
Let's send it.